Penguin Random House Audio presents The Schoolhouse, written and read by Sophie Ward.
Friday. 1. The university library was housed in an unimposing corner of North London, halfway up the Holloway Road. A small campus occupied the grounds of a former landfill site, and seagulls still circled overhead, drawn by the scent of waste. When Isobel walked back from lunch, the shadows of the birds followed her in the winter sunlight. From the safety of her desk, she flinched at the thought of the gulls' swollen bodies. Across the room in the study area, 2 children sat in modular chairs and read books they had brought with them. The children distracted her. She was used to the research students and teaching staff using the library, but visitors had to be registered with the university. The children must belong to one of the faculty. Isobel watched them from her workstation. The library stood at the back of the campus, a liver-bricked cube with a wide staircase leading from the entrance to the road below. Inside, the books were arranged over 2 levels. Isobel's station was placed in the middle of the ground floor. From there, she could see everyone who entered. If she turned, she had a clear view between the rows of shelving behind her and periodicals on her left. It was among the newspapers and magazines that the children sat. They didn't speak to each other. The only activity came from Melanie Harris at the front desk, stamping books and stacking them onto the metal trolleys. Isobel imagined that Melanie must stamp books in her sleep. She shared her desk with Jenny. Since Isobel was not a qualified librarian, she was responsible for the maintenance of the books and some of the filing, while Jenny took care of all research inquiries. The senior librarians worked in their offices upstairs, visiting the ground floor when they had specific requests. They were always smartly dressed, the 2 male librarians in suits, while the women wore silky blouses and woolen skirts. Isobel enjoyed the busy periods at the end of term, when everyone worked on the shelves. The dual colours of the women's clothes shone out against the sea of student denim. Isobel did not care to shine, but she admired the confidence of those who did. She took a sip of coffee from the thermos she kept on the shelf under the countertop. Jenny was making a fresh pot in the staff room, but Isobel preferred the way they made it in the university canteen. The liquid was cold now, but she drank it while she watched the children. The 2 girls sat with their hair hanging loose, shoulders rounded as they bent over their books. They looked alike, thin bodies in flared jeans and polo neck jumpers, with the flowery faces and shadowed eyes of city children in winter. It had been so long since Isobel had spent any time with children. They were young to be on their own in the library, but they knew how to behave. 9, maybe, 10. They each turned the page they were reading and glanced up at each other. She could almost read their lips from where she stood. "No," one of the girls seemed to say, "family." Isobel looked away. When Jenny returned from her break, Isobel got her coat and scarf and went outside. Clouds drooped over the campus square. A few students leant against benches eating chips and smoking. A solitary Christmas star in gold tinsel shimmered from a lamppost. Isobel walked across the icy concrete, feeling the cold spread through the soles of her shoes, up into her toes, and letting her breath condense in the wool under her chin. She went back to the library as the last streetlight flickered on. The children were gone. Dalston Echo, 18th of December, 1974. New premises for charity school. The Christmas spirit has helped provide a new building for the plucky children at the schoolhouse. The charity-funded school has been searching for a site large enough to accommodate the different needs of its pupils, some of whom are handicapped. This month, The Society for Children's Learning signed the lease on a Victorian warehouse behind Graham Road. "This is great news for all our children," Schoolhouse headmaster Colin Sanders told the Echo. "We were growing out of the old building, and it was time for us to expand. The new site has a lot of potential. The Society for Children's Learning has been our Christmas angel." Children from the schoolhouse can be seen singing Christmas hymns at Smithfield's Meat Market this Saturday lunchtime. January 1975. Thursday. It was the first day of term today, but we didn't have to learn anything because we moved into the new building and we helped unpack. The school used to be a house in a street, but now it is in a big building with an outdoors that will be a playground one day. All of us are still in one room, except for the kindergarten classes upstairs and the maths room. There is a basement called the Undercroft, and Mr. Dickens said it will be the art room one day, but I said it's so dusty that you can't breathe. Mr. Dickens said, "You can clean it, Izzy." The headmaster, Mr. Sanders, has an office, and he has put in loudspeakers called a tannoy all over the school, even in the toilets. He has plans for the building, and he wants to show us that it is an exciting new venture. He asked Christopher to walk in front of us all. I have never seen Christopher walk, but Mr. Sanders said he practiced. We stood in the main hall and watched while he wheeled Christopher into position. "This is a very exciting day. Let's show Christopher we care." Mr. Sanders started clapping. We were supposed to clap as well. It's just pretending. I didn't say anything, though. I just clapped. Christopher pushed himself up, so he was standing against the chair. Miss Spill went to hold his arm, but Mr. Sanders waved her away. Christopher moved 1 foot forward, and then he leant over and dragged his other foot. He wobbled for a bit, and then he took another step. Mr. Sanders stamped his feet from side to side to show Christopher how to do it. Christopher took another step, but he had to use his hands to carry his back leg, and he lost his balance and fell over. Mr. Sanders started clapping even harder. No one was allowed to help Christopher get in his wheelchair. I was hungry in the afternoon, and I didn't have any money for sweets, but I had some of my candy necklace in my pocket. It was fluffy from my coat because I licked it yesterday, but I washed it under the tap in the loos and sucked it on the way home, and I didn't feel hungry anymore. Monday. I got the early bus into school. Mum and Dad were still in bed. Lucy gave me this diary for my birthday. She is deaf, so she can't hear, but she can talk and she can read. Sometimes she wears a hearing aid, but she doesn't like it. There are other children at school who can't hear. One boy is still in kindergarten, and a girl who hurt her head when she was born. Lucy taught me some words from sign language, so we can talk to each other. Lucy has her own diary, and we can write in our diaries all day. The girls have a gang like the boys now. We are all 11, Kathy Binks, Lucy and me. Kathy is new from last term. I think she was expelled from her old school. Loads of people get expelled from school. You can't be expelled from the schoolhouse, though. Mr. Sanders says it is a refuge. Wednesday. There are 2 cafes the teachers take us to for lunch because there isn't a kitchen in the new school yet. The girls go to one cafe and the boys go to the other, and we swap the next day. Luigi's is best. There are yellow tables and you can have an ice cream float to drink. I always choose cream soda because then I can pretend I am an American girl like Anne of Green Gables. All the food here is from the meat market where we sing at Christmas. I cut it up into small pieces and put it at the side of the plate, and it looks like I have eaten some. Tuesday. The school guinea pig died today. I used to bring...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?